is Las Vegas Vantage with your host, Rocky Dickerson.
Hi, I'm Rocky Dickerson with Realty One Group, and welcome to Las Vegas Vantage. Here on Las Vegas Vantage, we do talk about real estate, and even more importantly, we also talk about the community here in Las Vegas and the people that make this such a great place to live. Today, we are focusing on real estate, and we're talking to my great friend, Debe Maxwell from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Rocky. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So one thing that's unique about Debbie is while real estate does require a lot of hard work, it also requires a good deal of patience. And it seems that Debbie had a lot of experience with patients because she was a nurse. Is that correct?
That's correct. I did. I went from patience to patience. But I went from having physical patience to having to have mental patience sometimes. But I've loved both professions.
Now, whenever I have a client that's looking to move out to Charlotte, Debbie is the only agent that I think about because she is one of these superstars in that region. She's actually been in real estate now for about 18 years. And right now, in addition to being an agent, you're also managing an office. Is that right?
Yes. I manage one of the larger offices in Charlotte.
Perfect.
So it's fun.
So obviously, with the amount of experience you've had, the amount of success you've had, you understand real estate. And that's why we really wanted to have you on here today. So we've all seen here in 2022, okay, that now it's no longer multiple offers that are trying to throw $50,000 above list price at the sellers to try to get that house. Now we're getting into a slower marketplace. So tell me, what is your perception on what we're seeing as we're going into the year 2023?
I believe that we're still going to have some bidding wars, and we do. Charlotte's a very desirable city to move to. We have a lot of movement into the city, but I also know people are going to buy and sell during any market, and this particular market is now. It's great for buyers who were kind of waiting in the wings because they didn't really want to get into bidding wars, and I really think that we're going to see some loosening of the market, especially come early spring.
Oh, okay, great. Now I know currently in Las Vegas, we've got about 5 months worth of available inventory. And I think about 48% of all the houses that do sell in the first 30 days. What are you seeing now in Charlotte?
We're seeing the very, very similar pattern here in Charlotte, except we're only we're under 2 months of inventory right now. So we still have low
so that's
inventory.
why you're seeing bidding wars out there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
If it's a great house, it's going to have multiple offers still.
So when you've got a market like what we're seeing in Las Vegas, where you've got 5 months of inventory, right? Mm-hmm. What would be your advice for people dealing in that kind of a market?
For agents or buyers or sellers?
For the clients, yes.
Okay. So for sellers, I just tell them that, last year, their neighbor probably sold in a matter of 30 minutes, where this may take them 30 days, and that they just have to get, just have to have some patience, basically. So it's difficult because they saw the craziness of the market in their neighborhoods, over the past 2 or 3 years, really. And so it's a hard pill to swallow when you're like, oh, I've got to have all these showings. But the thing is, it's really not that bad. It is really not that bad. And that's what our norm used to be. And so it's difficult to understand that when you lived it with your neighbors, in recent years. But it's not too bad. And as far as buyers go, it's a dream to go home and sleep on it. So you go see a house, even the ones with multiple offers, you go see a house, you typically can go home and sleep on it. And that is so nice. It's such a luxury. And instead of having to make a decision on the spot while you're in the house and go sign the offers on the hood of your car,
Gotcha. So now that we're in this normal market, I mean, I recently got a call from a gentleman that said, hey, my brother just lost $150,000 on his house in the last 6 months. And I actually researched it, and the guy was totally off base. There was a difference of about $6,000 instead of $150,000 in the sales prices in that particular neighborhood. So what's your advice for people that are hearing these stories in the media?
To call their trusted real estate agent, real estate broker, realtor, whatever they're called in your area. Call them. They know the market. I've had people tell me I've bought and sold 12 houses, in my life. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this. And I'm like, I just did that last month. So, and it's current, and it has to be, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that people don't think about. They think they've got this experience under their belt, but things change. Markets change. Markets are constantly changing, and you really have to be active in that market to understand it in depth.
Gotcha. So what are your thoughts about these stories that are in the media?
I view it as one of my main responsibilities is educating the consumer. And this is because this is what we do. And we know that the sky is not falling. They're just, I think if you hear a bad story, just like your guy with the $150,000 deficit for, was it his brother?
Yeah. And it turned out to not even be true.
No, exactly. And that's how rumors get started. And I think when the media hears a negative story, then it's full-blown Chicken Little. It is. It just is. And then we have to go dispel all of these rumors. And I think that's our job. We are sure. Also educators. And I believe that's part of a big part of our job.
So people will click on the story or tune in to the story where it says, hey, homeowners are losing $150,000 just this year, but they're not going to look at the story where it said, yeah, the homeowner maybe earned $1,500. They're not going to do that because bad news is what sells, right? Right.
Exactly. That's it. It's such sensationalism, and it really is disturbing, especially in our profession, because, you already face I don't want to say people don't trust us, but, we already have that, salesman-y kind of sense to some people. And, you were like, no, please don't believe that. Those people they're not in this business. And, we're here to help people and to educate people. We're not here to scam them, for goodness sakes.
Gotcha. So how about interest rates? I know that, well, personally, I sold real estate back when we had fixed rates of 15%. So now that people were belly aching that interest rates are getting up to 7% and saying, well, I'm going to wait till the next time they're down to 2%. What's your advice for people that are complaining about the interest rates?
First of all, I don't believe it's ever going to go back to 2%. I don't see that. That was not a sustainable. It was not sustainable whatsoever. It just was one of those, we kind of got stuck in that, and everybody got used to that, especially your first time home buyers. And my advice, I know everybody says, well, I don't want to hear that your first house that you bought was at 18% because that's irrelevant to today's market. Well, actually, it's not, because if you think about it, we weren't making what we make now. Our incomes were not at the levels they are now. Our home prices were not at the levels that they are now either. So everything is kind of relevant to the time. But I think it also, we kind of scale it over the years. So I believe that, yes, it is a relevant thing to discuss that, hey, we paid these interest rates, and you can do loan buy downs now, which I I didn't hear about that when I bought my first house. I didn't know about being able to buy down the rates. So I think, now we've got a lot more products, mortgage products out there
Sure.
for home buyers.
I even have a lender here in town that when you purchase your home now, her company is agreeing that if there's lower interest rates in the next 5 years, they'll refinance it with no costs. So there's great products out there.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's get off the subject of real estate and let's get onto the subject of Las Vegas, because most of our viewers here are in Las Vegas. So tell me, when you've come to Las Vegas a few times, I know I've met you here a couple of times when you're here in town. There was a unique cocktail you told me about on one of your trips here?
So I have this peanut butter vodka passion, if you will. It's so good. It is just, I love peanut butter to start with, but this peanut butter vodka is fantastic. So if you mix it with a little grape or a little dash of something to make it like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's really good. But they did have the peanut butter whiskey there. And I'm not a whiskey girl, but boy, that stuff was really good. I enjoyed it.
Was that at Caesars, if I remember?
That was at Caesars, yes.
Okay, great. So how about restaurants? What are some of your favorite restaurants that you've had here in town?
My husband could tell you, I know this is so crazy, but he is so passionate about going to Vegas. He absolutely loves it. So much so we've been twice this year, but he makes all the plans. He's my social director and he makes all the plans, and he could tell you exactly which restaurants that we went to. But I specifically remember begging to get into Hell's Kitchen because you could not get in. And a couple of my agents here had told me you have to go there. And so by the time we finally got in, I was like, oh my goodness, now I see why they said we had to go there. It was phenomenal. So every place we dined there, we didn't dine at a bad place.
Sure.
You guys have the best restaurants. Oh my goodness.
Well, Debbie, gosh, we certainly appreciate your taking the time to be with us here today on Las Vegas Vantage. I know that anytime someone is telling me they're looking to move to Charlotte, I'm giving them your name and phone number. I've already got that established. But let's just say that someone's tuning in and they're looking to buy or sell real estate in Charlotte. How can they reach you?
They can reach me at 704-491-3310, or they can email me at savvybroker@me.com. And that's SAV as in Victor, V as in Victor, Y, broker.
Gotcha. Fantastic. Well, Debbie, thanks again for being with us here today.
Thank you. I so enjoyed it, Rocky.
And thank all of you that are watching here today on Las Vegas Vantage. Again, we do talk about real estate here in the Las Vegas area, as well as the community at large. And we hope that you'll keep watching us. And if you need to sell or buy real estate here in Las Vegas, I would love to be the agent that gives you superior service. Please give me a call, Rocky Dickerson, at 702-743-7625. Email Rocky at rockysellsvegas.com. And please subscribe to my video channel.